This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Oh, the party has returned. Welcome back. And thank you for your patience with there not being any shows for the last few days. I really appreciate you guys coming back and hanging out for the party. And I'm sorry that I was not able to get it together and record like I had planned to and like I had wanted to. I had Jacob's birthday and the family birthday party and the kid birthday party and trips to Pack 4 and everything to do. And so I just kind of couldn't do it all. So I don't remember the last time I actually didn't do a show or took time off. I was still kind of working from Disneyland, organizing the Mark Thompson show, putting stories in and creating the show and sending out links to guests. But it just seemed like a lot less without this one. So thank you guys very much for bearing with me. I call it Monkey Day today on this show because I have so many stories about monkeys. The first story I wanted to share with you is this story about this red-tailed monkey born at the Oakland Zoo. And I have the see if I can get myself situated here. Check out this video. Here it is. This is a video of this mom, and look at the little baby monkey down below. How adorable could that possibly be? This happened at the Oakland Zoo. It's the first birth of a red-tailed monkey at the zoo in Oakland. And I just thought that was so cute. I had to show it to you. It's the first primate of this particular species to be born at the Oakland Zoo. The parents' names are Nanami and Marley. The monkey is a healthy baby boy. And the mom and baby have joined the rest of the troop in their habitat. They're all bonding, including the siblings that were born at previous zoos. The mom and the new baby are sometimes viewable in the monkey habitat, but it looks like she's kind of retreating to an indoor space with her baby for the time being. So far, no name for this baby, but I mean, come on. How adorable. Look at that. And what an interesting looking, beautiful creature that is. So cute, that little baby monkey. And looks kind of like this next monkey that monkey stories abound. But check out this monkey. This is a blue-faced, puffy-lipped monkey. It's Vietnam's Tonkin snub-nosed monkey. Again, the Tonkin snub-nosed monkey out of Vietnam. This monkey that you're seeing on your screen right now is one of the world's most endangered primates, I should say. Critically endangered. And beautiful looking. Look at those big lips and that blue face. The good news is, huge news for the conservation of this creature. Its population is now being called stable. So these, again, are among the most endangered primates in the world. Most of the species limited to two areas in northern Vietnam's karst limestone peaks. It's the Quan Ba Forest and the Cao Ca Species and Habitat Conservation Area. But there's a new population census that was just done by the wildlife conservation charity called Fauna and Florida. And what they found is that the Tonkin snub-nosed monkey numbers in the Cao Ca Species and Habitat Conservation Area is stable. There's 160 of these primates in that area. The survey took place outside of the species breeding season, and they did find some infants in the population as well. They took a look, 19 days they spent doing the survey, and they used technological and traditional tools like binoculars and thermal imaging drones and camera traps. And they also tested a new survey approach this time. They turned the whole area into a grid map, and every survey group dedicated itself completely to just one cell within that map, which they say made them more efficient, avoided overlaps and counting. And while they say, listen, 160 monkeys of this species, still not a big population, but it's reassuring enough that they've been able to identify various family groups, that there's no evidence of trapping or hunting. So, poaching was apparently once a huge threat to this species. Today, the challenge for this species is habitat loss and deforestation because of agricultural expansion. So they're trying to expand the conservation area for this creature, but at least now they know that they have a stable population there in that area. They say the most recent total population estimate for this rare monkey is about 250. That's it. 250 of these left in the world. So it remains critically endangered and it remains a vulnerable number. But at least now they're saying things are looking a little better for this guy, this Tonkin snub-nosed monkey. How interesting is that face? Beautiful creature. And lastly, speaking of Monkey Day, aw, look at that. These monkeys are killing me today. This monkey, little baby monkey, has a stuffy, a little orangutan stuffy. And the viral video of this bullied baby monkey clinging to this stuffed animal at a zoo in Japan led to this toy from IKEA to sell out online. And now it's being sold for really big prices on eBay. This monkey is 7 months old. His name is Punch. He was ditched after he was born, abandoned, and he's being raised by keepers at the Ichikawa City Zoo. And the keepers gave him this stuffed orangutan. It's the IKEA Jungle Skog stuffed orangutan. They gave it to him to cling to like a security blanket, right? So the video goes up last week and it goes viral. It shows this monkey clinging to this stuffed toy after he was dragged in circles by an adult member of the zoo's troop. But the video makes Punch a viral star. Some asking about his loneliness and his safety. Some of the fans say the behavior is known as scolding, that the baby is uninjured and has since been seen interacting normally with the rest of the troop. But everybody wants this stuffy now. It's $19.99. It's sold out online in the United States, Japan, and South Korea. People saying online, we're all Punch's family now. That actually said by IKEA in an Instagram post. So you buy it for $20 on eBay, and then they're being resold for as much as $100 on, $20 at IKEA, and then they're being resold for $100 on eBay. This is the nature of our life. It's a very cute little creature, though. Look at that. So between our mom and baby, our blue-lipped, snub-nosed Tonkin monkey, and this guy, I had so many monkey stories, I decided to call it Monkey Day. But I have a cat story for you as well. Do you see this one? This is a story about a cat that has 4 ears. Fine. This cat seems to be living life and doing well, despite the extra ears. This is a 4-eared foster kitten in the state of Alabama. They're preparing to put this cat up for adoption, and it just has an extra set of ears. You can see the taller ears sticking up, and then right in front, it's kind of a little set of mini ears. His name is Dobby, almost like Dobby the house elf. Dobby is a 7-month-old black kitten and was just born with an extra set of ear flaps that look like a smaller set of ears. The foster mother says the extra ears absolutely do not adversely affect this kitten. Hearing totally normal. The tail is short and curly. But after she shared pictures and videos of this unusual kitten on Instagram and on Reddit, on social media, Dobby becomes a viral celebrity as well. The foster mom does say that Dobby needs surgery to correct an overbite, but after that happens, he'll be available for adoption through Kitty Cat Haven and Rescue. Kitty and Cat are with K's. Kitty Cat Haven Rescue in Alabama. Look at that little creature. It's not so often you see a 4-eared cat. I wanted to share this with you. I know we do a little Travel Tuesday here on the After Party Live, and I have some. Let me get the Travel Tuesday. There you go, Travel Tuesday. And while we're not going anywhere specific, I do have this to share with you, and it is the list of the best resorts in the United States. And the number one best resort in the United States is located on the big island of Hawaii. Here it is. I'll have to take my other picture down. Here it is. Wow. Yes, please. That is the Hualalai Resort. It is on the big island of Hawaii, and it has been named the number one best resort in the United States for the second year in a row. U.S. News and World Report releasing its list of the best resorts in America, and the Four Seasons Resort at Hualalai in Kona on the Big Island, number one again. It is, of course, a 5-star resort and gets a 9.6 out of 10 from more than 500 guest reviews. This is a popular place. They say, we are honored to be the number one hotel and resort in the U.S. for a second consecutive year. This according to the Four Seasons Resort Hualalai. It's a tremendous accolade made possible by the extraordinary efforts of our team and the continued loyalty of our guests. One of the things you can do at this resort is check out the Hualalai Spa and their 8 swimming pools. And one of them is called the King's Pond. And it has a 1.8 million gallon aquarium with more than 1,000 tropical fish in it. It's like really swimming with the fishes. They have a cultural center to expose guests to Hawaiian culture. They're really doing it right for people that can afford it, because the rooms at this resort go for between $1,200 to more than $4,000 a night for a deluxe suite. Also in Hawaii, second place winner, the Four Seasons Resort on Lanai, averaging 9.8 out of 10 in guest reviews as well. But there are a lot of California resorts as well on this list. Oh, here's another picture of the Hualalai. Look at that. It looks peaceful and tranquil, doesn't it? And beautiful. If you have $1,200 a night for the cheap room, you're good to go. This, I don't know if anybody has seen this one before. This is in the North Bay. And while I have not stayed here and probably never will because of the extraordinary price, the Auberge du Soleil in Rutherford is a 5-star resort in Napa Valley. It is third on the list of the U.S. News and Report best resorts in America. It has views of Mount Veeder, a Michelin-starred restaurant. It has a trail, a walking trail, hiking trail. The rooms have fireplaces and private terraces. Very fancy. Fourth on the list is the Rancho Valencia Resort and Spa in Rancho Santa Fe. And this one, there it is, that ranks 4th on the list. The Fairmont Grand Del Mar in San Diego ranks 12th. The Lodge at Torrey Pines in San Diego, 14th. Solage in Calistoga ranks 19th. Oh, I'm sorry. What you're looking at here is still the Auberge du Soleil in Rutherford. It's another shot of that. So the complete list can be found in SF Gate. But, you know, if you're looking for a top resort and spa, there you go. It's nice to know, I will say, that California does have some of the nicest of the fancy resorts. Is that another travel thing that I wanted to show you? I saw the I saw this on Smithsonian, and I just thought, even if we're not maybe doing a trip with the best sights of the city, I just wanted to share this tile work with you from Portugal because it's so beautiful and so interesting and so different. What you're looking at here is the Grande Panorama de Lisboa, done in about 1700, and it's located at the National Azulejo Museum. This type of tile work, let's see if I can't make it bigger. You kind of lose a little bit of it, but look at the detail and how all the pieces fit together so perfectly. Just little beautiful things about the world. This type of tile work is prominent across Portugal. It's inside, it's outside, it's everywhere. The tile work is called an identity art of distinct Portuguese taste. But there's more that I thought maybe we could look at, more pictures. There's a 17th century tiled panel at the museum as well. And take a look at the beauty of this, intricate designs of this. Just incredible. This is a 17th century tiled panel that appears at the same museum. And here's some more examples. And again, this is all in Smithsonian Magazine. But look at that. I mean, wow. The inside of this amazing area. It's this Porto Sao Bento railway station. Look at the tile work on the inside, filled with murals made up of more than 20,000 azulejo tiles in there. Then there's the exterior of the Church of St. Ildefonso in Porto. 11,000 blue and white tiles on the outside of this church. See if I can highlight that. I mean, the beauty is just incredible. Take a look at this one. This is the Fronteira Palace, located just outside the city center of Lisbon. Take a look at, oh, sorry, I missed it. Nope. Well, I lost what I'm doing here. That's all right. We'll go back. Thank you for your patience with me. Now I'm a little rusty. Who am I kidding? I was kind of rusty before. Here's the palace. Nope. Where's the palace? There's the train station. Here's Fronteira Palace. There it is. Just wow. I mean, yeah. So this is right outside of Lisbon, and this is the battle room. The battle room has these intricate scenes from the 17th century Portuguese Restoration War for independence from Spain. This is sometimes referred to as the Sistine Chapel of tile panels. So incredible. There's another one. This one from the Monastery of São Vicente de Fora. Take a look at this close up. There. Oh, looks like I went away for a minute. Oops, here it is. Okay. This in a monastery, you can see a little bit of damage. I think my connection was a little shaky there. So pretty. So this church is dedicated to Saint Vincent. That's the city's patron saint since 1173. And the cloisters are covered in the largest collection of 18th century azulejo tiles found anywhere. There are 38 tiled panels depicting the fables of French poet Jean de La Fontaine and his stories and his adventures Here's another shot. This one, the National Palace of Sintra. Look at this. That's the ceiling. I mean, wow. The legend has it, according to the Smithsonian Magazine, that Manuel I of Portugal, who ruled as king from 1495 to 1521, visited Seville, Spain, and became enamored with the royal Alcazar so much that he wanted his own equivalent palace. And this is the result, this azulejo tile embellished palace that sits in Sintra, 30 minutes, I should say, outside of Lisbon. They have a heraldic hall with a coat of arms emblazoned in gold and tiled panels, portraying all the nobles and stag and bear hunting scenes. Oh, beautiful. And here's another shot of some of the tile work that you can see in the museum. So it's kind of like we went somewhere, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. Oh, beautiful. That's a picture, by the way, at the National Azulejo Museum. So pretty. So that's a little bit of travel on this Travel Tuesday here on the After Party Live. There you go, Travel Tuesday. All right, I have some other stories to share with you today as well. And among them, oops, sorry, I'll take this away now. So much for our tiles. One of the stories I wanted to talk to you about was this AI story about this company called Miko, Miko. They added an AI off switch after some pressure. You've heard, and I see this, Chris Holm, stop the presses, because Chris Holm has just kicked in $100 to the After Party Live. It's my birthday today, says Chris, and I'm celebrating at the after party. Welcome back, Kim. We missed you. I missed you guys too. Totally did. And I wasn't sure what the right way to tell you that there wasn't going to be a show for a couple of days was. So I kind of left that show piece up so that you could come in and chat if you wanted to. And I think it worked for a couple of days. So that's good. Chris, what a lovely thing to do for this show and for me and for us to help keep it going. Just appreciate it so much. And happy birthday. And one of the things we do when it's your birthday, Chris Holm, I'll take away Miko, is we have to go straight to Jacob, right? Happy birthday.
You requested a happy birthday song, so I'm gonna give you one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Yay, Chris, happy birthday to you. Look at this. And lots of birthday messages. Oh, you're my birthday twin? Mama, it's your birthday too? Well, then that was for you as well. Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday, Chris. Yay. Wonderful. Miss Sister, oh, and it's Miss Organic Sister's birthday. It's February 24th is a big birthday day in this show. Yeah, I was gonna say in this house. It is kind of in this house. Happy birthday to Mama. Happy birthday, everybody, with lovely birthday messages. Wonderful. So happy birthday to Chris and happy birthday, Mama. That is awesome. All right, we'll move forward with this story about this robot, but I'm so excited. Thank you so much for the really generous contribution, and I hope you have a really good birthday. Here's this guy. His name is Miko. There he is. And there have been all kinds of issues lately with toys that include AI and some creepy stuff that happens. So this company is called Miko, and they make toys powered by artificial intelligence. And they have faced incredible pressure to add an AI on-off switch because of the creepy nature of their toys. And so they have. They say they are putting full control now of their toys in the hands of parents and caregivers with an on-off toggle option to either enable or disable the conversational features of Miko 3 and the Miko Mini. These are toys that are moving robots with touchscreen faces, which can play music and games with kids and use AI chatbots called large language models to interact with our children. The company has collaborated with Google to use Google Cloud and Google's Gemini AI models, but there's a lot of issues and questions about safety over Miko and other AI toy creators as well. Some lawmakers saying they identified a website where any visitor could download the thousands of responses that Miko generated to specific children that had been accidentally left available online with no password protection or other guardrails. Anybody with an internet connection could access this. And so NBC News did. And they went in and they listened to some of these recordings that appeared to be a extended conversation where the AI chatbot, the large language model, addressed a child repeatedly by name, asked them questions like how they felt and what music they were listening to. That site's now inaccessible because they figured out, oh, people can get to it, right? The company told NBC they hadn't leaked the user's data. They don't store children's voice recordings, but they didn't offer a comment on the recordings that appeared to be responses to the children. So now they're saying the parental controls are an 11th hour attempt, the lawmakers say, to save face following the cybersecurity breach that came to light just last week. These AI toys are largely unregulated in the United States, and they're getting more and more popular. And here's the question I have, the concern that I have. We have seen that specifically young men are turning more to online life to live, don't necessarily need a human girlfriend, fine with online stuff and online relationships, which is hard because I feel like I have online relationships with this community, but it is different from the relationships we have in real life, and we can't let it take the place of, right? And so if we know that AI and relationships with AI, which are different than us interacting here, are affecting human relationships, then why would we take a toy, give it to a kid, and allow a toy to have conversations with our child as if it's their friend? The child will likely probably be less likely to go out and make real friends, will spend more of their time with this AI device rather than creating real relationships. And in addition to relationship challenges, which teaches them early on that you can have AI relationships instead of human interactions, which is not the direction I think we should be moving in, it also takes away some imagination. These electronic toys take away the ability to sit and think with blocks or to create, to build, to have ideas, to have tactile experiences, which we know are really important for kids in play. There's a lot of things about this toy that could be dangerous. Funny, in Disneyland, we were at my son's birthday dinner, and I'm looking around, and I'm not saying like, oh, my rules are the best rules or I'm the best mom, because Lord knows we all have our challenges in certain areas. But one of the rules I've always had since the beginning of having kids was no electronic devices at the table. That's our interacting time. Put your phone upside down or leave it somewhere else. No computers, not even any books at the table. Like, I don't want your nose in a book. I don't want your nose in a phone. That's the time when we interact with each other. So I'm looking around the restaurant and there's little kids all over the place with headphones on and their nose in an iPad looking at cartoons. This is a moment where you have the Disney characters roaming around the restaurant. You're supposed to be with your family, and kids are looking at their iPad. This lack of interaction, I fear that we're creating this generation that has, I mean, we worry about their social skills after COVID, worry about all of these things, and then we give them a toy like this, right? And that's, what they spend their time with instead of interacting with parents. Maybe there's a place for this toy if interaction is limited, but I just don't see parents really limiting things. If you can have a kid and an iPad at Disneyland, my husband tried to say, well, maybe they're autistic and the noise overload gets to them. There could be reasons for it. There's so many kids on electronics. You see parents hand babies their phones to keep them occupied. I think we're in some trouble here. At least Miko now has an on and off switch, but I don't think I'd be buying Miko in the first place. No, thank you. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there on Chris and Mama's birthday. I'm gonna go see. Take kids to Yosemite. You'll see the same. Really? Says Phineas. Oh, goodness. Be artistic. I had a ton of art supplies. We could work outside on the patio too. Yeah, that's one good thing. Jacob asked for his birthday. He didn't ask for a lot. He asked for a bucket of slime and the Crayola clay that you can model and then harden into things. So that's what he wanted, and paper that is thin that you can use to draw animation things. Yeah. Jim says, I'm just sad that when we have the big snowstorm, the kids don't get the day off from school like they used to. They have to learn remotely. Yeah, that's a bummer, huh? Susan says, very odd. It can't be healthy in any way. Yeah. Vanessa says, whatever happened to go out and play and don't come home until the streetlights come on? And Heather says that gets you a visit from CPS. It's true. I've heard people of parents that, say, go out and play. And then, if you're out, even outside on the front lawn and the parents aren't out there and the kids are of a certain age, there's a knock on the door. You can't leave your kids unattended outside. Not that I would have, but Wes in Florida, if you go to the Grok website and change it to unhinged persona, it can say things that would make an adult entertainer blush. Oh my. I don't know if I want to be doing that, but wow, that's crazy. I don't trust AI, especially to be left to their own devices around kids. Yeah. Helicopter parents ruined it for the rest of them. Mama says, I was at a burger place once and I let my kids carry their trays and fill their own sodas, and an older man scolded them for taking too long. So I understand why some parents choose the tablets. See, not cool. Not cool at all. How are they going to learn and get better at carrying their own trays and better at moving faster if they never have to do it? Same thing, Mama. Sorry, I don't mean to get off on a parent tangent, but it's the same thing with sending my kids into the grocery store by themselves. At 12, Jacob can walk into a store. I can give him a list. He can come back out with exactly what I asked him to buy. Use the debit card reader. I have a cousin who couldn't do that until she was in her 20s. If you don't let them do it, if you don't let them try, then it takes them a long time to become independent people. And because of what Heather's talking about, because of the way a lot of us grew up, which is, I'll see you at dinner time, go live your life, go learn things, go check it out, that our kids now don't have that same experience. So you have to give them that experience. And that's doing what you did, Mama. Completely agree with you. Vanessa says, I was lucky to live in a safe apartment building when my son was growing up. Yeah, that's good. Yvonne says, kids are saying I'm bored without tech. Time to use your brains. Well, if you don't give them tech, they have to figure something else out, right? Yeah. All right, I'm sorry. I got off of my parent tangent. Can we talk about the bacteria cave? Kind of creepy. This is Romanian ice cave. I know it's not Hide on Your Cave Monday, but this is a Romanian ice cave where a 5,000-year-old bacteria was thawed. A team of scientists in Romania tested antibiotic resistance profiles with this bacterial strain hidden in a 5,000-year-old layer of ice inside an underground ice cave. They think this bacteria could be the key to finding new strategies to prevent the continued rise of antibiotic resistance. So this is a big thing. This new bacterial strain is called Psychrobacter SC65A.3. This whole thing is detailed in a study published today in the journal Frontiers in Microbiology. So we'll just call it Psychrobacter. And it's this bacterial strain isolated from the, and I'm probably not saying it right, Scarasora. It's got a weird little thing over the A. Scarasora ice cave, despite its ancient origin, showing resistance to multiple modern antibiotics. It carries over 100 resistant related genes. Okay, but if it's resistant to antibiotics, could we use it to build some kind of virus that's resistant to antibiotics? You see where my mind goes. But researchers say it can inhibit the growth of several major antibiotic-resistant superbugs, and it shows a very important enzymatic activities with very important biotechnological technological potential. Sorry, lost the ability to speak. So they've been drilling in this cave. They call it drilling for bacterial gold. The new strain found in this ice cave is a strain of the genus Psychrobacter. These bacteria are adapted to cold environments and they can infect humans or animals. But they have biotechnological potential that scientists don't really understand exactly yet the antibiotic resistant profiles of these bacteria. The study says that looking at microbes like the Psychrobacter retrieved from millennia-old cave ice deposits reveals how antibiotic resistance evolved naturally in the environment long before antibiotics were ever even used. They drilled out an 82-foot ice core from an area of this cave known as the Great Hall. They say the ice core represents a 13,000-year timeline, giving scientists the idea what sorts of organisms were alive and when they were alive as well. So they took these ice fragments from the core, put them in sterile bags, and kept them frozen on the way back to the lab so they wouldn't be contaminated. And once in the lab, they isolated various bacterial strains and then sequenced the genomes to figure out what allowed the strain to survive in low temperatures. And that indicates, or which of them have antimicrobial resistance and activity as well. Then they tested for resistance against 28 antibiotics from 10 different classes of drugs, many commonly used to treat bacterial infections. And that includes some antibiotics that have resistance genes or mutations that help them resist antibiotics. So they could see whether the predicted mechanism translated into measurable resistance. And what they found is the 10 antibiotics had resistant that we have resistance to in some cases are widely used in oral and injectable therapies used to treat a range of serious infections in clinical practice. Tuberculosis, colitis, urinary tract infections, all of these things are often treated with the antibiotics that this sample from the cave is resistant to. It's the first Psychrobacter strain resistant to certain antibiotics, including trithromorprin, clindamycin, metronidazole, some of the antibiotics. Those are the most common ones used to treat UTIs, infections of lungs, skin, or blood. And sorry for butchering the names of them. So they think the resistance profile suggests the bacterial strains that can survive extremely cold environments might be reservoirs of resistant genes that contain specific DNA sequences that help them survive exposure to drugs. So, and again, as mentioned, there's a very real risk involved in unknown and understudied bacterial strains. It could be, if they say, a sci-fi nightmare, right? But the good news is this: if the melting ice releases these microbes, these genes could spread to modern bacteria, adding the global challenge of antibiotic resistance. But they also say, on the other hand, they produce unique enzymes and antimicrobial compounds that could inspire new antibiotics, industrial enzymes, and other biotechnological innovations as well. This Psychrobacter genome has almost 600 genes with unknown functions, which may, they say, hold clues to treating other diseases. And it has 11 genes that may be able to kill or stop the growth of other bacteria, fungi, and viruses. The things we find in caves, I'm telling you. Speaking of caves, scientists drilled into an Antarctic ice cave until they met bedrock, and they got a 228-meter sample of sediment. Here's this ice hole. I know what you're thinking. This is a literal ice hole, all right? The 748-foot core sample, it's really, really big, taken from the muddy bedrock beneath West Antarctica's chunky ice sheets. Inside this record-breaking sample, they found fossils of marine organisms dating back to a time when this whole area was open and it was an ice-free ocean. It was not easy to drill down this far. They had to travel about 430 miles from the nearest Antarctic station to a drill site on the Crary Ice Rise, which is on the edge of the West Antarctic ice sheet. And then they used a hot water drill and burrowed 1,715 feet into the ice until they reached the bedrock beneath. They worked in shifts. Then they drilled further, 748 feet into the ground, and they extracted this record-breaking sediment core sample with layers and layers of mud and rock. So there's the ice hole, and there's the thing that came out, this record-breaking sediment sample. Wild. Scientists say, to their knowledge, the longest sediment cores previously drilled under an ice sheet are less than 10 meters, and they exceeded their target of 200 meters. This is Antarctic frontier science, according to the co-chief scientist of this project and professor of geology at Binghamton University. Her name is Molly Patterson. This is an international project trying to get geological records from the sediment deep below the Ross Ice Shelf to determine how much the West Antarctic ice sheet has melted in recent history. And this core sample, they say, is part of the puzzle because it can hold direct evidence to show how the ice sheet margin reacted during earlier warming intervals. And here's the quote from the co-chief scientist at the Victoria University in Wellington, New Zealand. His name is Hugh Horgan. He says, H-U-W is his name. Who? The record, he said, will give us critical insight about how the West Antarctic ice sheet and Ross Ice Shelf is likely to respond to temperatures. Initial indications are that the layers of sediment in the core span the past 23 million years, including time periods when the Earth's global average temperatures were significantly higher than above pre-industrial. The core sample has fragments. You can kind of see them in there almost of shelled animals and fossils of marine organisms, which they say might seem unusual because the drill site is so far away from the Southern Ocean that surrounds Antarctica. But the researchers said these creatures date to warmer periods when the region was partly or entirely ice-free. They saw a lot of variability, some of the sediment typical of deposits that occur under an ice sheet. They also saw material more typical of an open ocean, an ice shelf floating over an ocean, or an ice shelf margin with icebergs calving off. So they're working now to verify the findings, and they're going to plan on getting more samples from this region. And the goal is to predict how Antarctica will change with rising temperatures and with ice loss as well. Looking at the climate secrets hidden in this core. They do say their drilling system was put to the test under these tough Antarctic conditions, and it passed with flying colors. So they'll be doing more future drilling to learn more about the sensitivity of this ice sheet to global warming. And how cool is that? There's your sample, and there's your giant ice hole. I know. How about a story about cannabis? Here's the headline. Smoking cannabis linked to larger brain volume and better cognitive function later in life. Moderate use appears to protect the hippocampus from shrinking. What? I thought if you smoke too much pot, it did bad things to your brain. That's not what this story says. Nope. People who have used cannabis at any stage during their lives display larger volumes in brain regions linked to memory, learning, and executive function by the time they reach middle age. I'm not a big pot smoker. As a matter of fact, I think I maybe have done that once in my life. So my brain must be really tiny. This comes from new research. The findings come with several caveats. There are numerous variables, they say, that complicate long-term health effects of cannabis use. So, a little more on this study. Using data from more than 25,000 people between the ages of 40 and 77, they found moderate lifetime cannabis use, moderate keyword, correlates with size increases in the hippocampus, the amygdala, caudate, and putamen. And these are the brain regions linked to key attributes like emotion, motor control, and memory. So they decided to investigate how cannabis use impacts cognition from midlife on up. And they looked at data from 16,728 people and found moderate use is linked to better performance in tasks that engage learning, processing speed, and short-term memory. The study's author says it goes against your default assumptions because a lot of research out there has shown cannabis is associated with worse cognitive function, at least acutely. So Annika Guha, the lead study author, says she was surprised that every cognitive measure that demonstrated a significant effect showed better performance among cannabis users. They say the researchers suggest while using pot may pose risks to adolescents, the harms don't appear to persist later in life. Instead, they say cannabis may actually protect the brain against age-related atrophy and neurodegeneration, both of which are strongly linked to cognitive decline and dementia as well. Interesting. They do say, despite the findings, the study authors point out there's a lot of unknowns. Cannabinoid use appears to affect male and female brains differently. They don't understand exactly why that is. They also said the data doesn't capture details about the strength of cannabis that people use. So it's all going to be different, right? The researchers are, therefore, they say, unable to provide insight into how different cannabinoids like THC, CBD, CBG might be involved in mediating the harms and benefits of using pot. So But they say, they do conclude this, that cannabis may influence brain health differently across the lifespan, potentially offering protective effects in older age while posing risks in earlier development. By the way, if you're interested in more on this study, it is published in the Journal of Studies on Alcohol and Drugs. And again, that's the Journal of Studies on Alcohol and Drugs. The website is jsad.com. You can take a look at it. The study authors from the University of Colorado and Schutz Medical Campus. So you can share it around. Take a look at that. Interesting. I know it's getting late. Perhaps I can do one more story. I think I can squeeze one in, especially since we haven't seen each other for a while. How about this? How about if I do a lotto of the day to wrap it up in a good way? This lottery ticket picked by a store clerk wins $40,000 a year for the next 25 years. That clerk's like, could I at least have 1,000 of those dollars a year? This is a woman in Ohio who bought a scratch-off lottery ticket that was selected for her by the store clerk. She's from Lorain County, and she was in the Saney stores. I always say this wrong. Sunoco in Wadsworth, Ohio. Ron told me how to say it right, and I keep messing it up. I'm sorry. The store's clerk encouraged this woman to buy a $30 Extreme Million scratch-off ticket. Pick this one, said the clerk. It's probably a winner. The player said she initially balked at the ticket's price, $30. That's a lot for a ticket, right? But then relented, purchased the ticket, scratched it off while she was in her car with her husband, and rushed back inside to show the clerk when she revealed the prize, $40,000 a year for 25 years. She decided to take her winnings as a one-time payment of $500,000, and she's going to use that prize money to buy a new vehicle and to bolster her savings. I mean, I guess if you had $40,000 a year for 25 years, if you didn't live 25 years, that would make it probably better to take the lump sum. I mean, you don't know if you're going to get hit by a truck tomorrow, right? Or if she's older. It doesn't say how old this woman is. So I guess it would make sense to take the lump sum. I kind of like the idea of getting, my $40,000 check is here for the year. I don't know. But she's got $500,000 now. And what is she going to do for that clerk? That's what I want to know. Yeah, I have one more lotto story for you before we wrap it up. This is about a California man who took a little trip to Maryland to visit his daughter, where he apparently is a frequent lottery player in California. So he decided to give the Maryland lottery a try. He was over there visiting his daughter and her family and bought a $5 festive fortune scratch-off ticket after stopping at the Check Cash Depot and revealed a $50,000 top prize. Woohoo! The most recent win leaves 4 of the original 8 $50,000 prizes unclaimed on the festive fortune game, they say. And there are a lot of prizes to still be won there. So that was a lucrative trip. Visit the family, get 50 grand, come on home. And there you have it. And that, my friends, is the After Party Live on this Tuesday, this birthday day, big after party birthday day for Chris and for Mama. And Chris, again, thank you so much for the contribution. I hope you have a really good birthday dinner. I hope you celebrate. You and Donna, I hope you do something really fun. You too, Mama. I hope you have a sweet birthday with all the babies. And Wes in Florida, thank you for the 5 and the heads up about Grok. Much appreciated. All right, everyone. I will be back tomorrow. It is, of course, Waterfall Wednesday. John Rothman will be on the Mark Thompson show, so I'll see you at 11. But between now and then, make it the very best day. And happy birthday. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
If you find that study, I'll make it the lead of the show. Yay, Miss Organic. Get up and move. Move, move, move. Sunoco. Okay. Thanks, Tam. I forgot to say click like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye, everybody.